Ladies and gentlemen, I am back with some SpellForce free action. It's been well over a month since I've done a cast, but I really needed to recover from a slight case of burnout. Anyways, let's get it on. We've got a purple dark elf gamer called Bane Vince. Now, I'm sure this is somebody Smurf. It's gonna be Don Hyperion or Galactic or Farland. You never know. You really never know, but it's one of them, I'm sure. On the other side, in the tier color, we have got Kayla Mensha playing as elves. Let's assume that's Galactic. Let's assume this guy's Don Hyperion. We'll see. Anyways, it's a Reaper versus Archdruid match, so it's gonna be pretty chill in terms of the early game. Neither of these heroes can really do all too much damage. They're both really reliant on getting their level 5 capstone abilities, and that's when they really start to shine. That said, the druid can certainly go in the other base and wreak havoc with the Obliterate skill, which is a shockwave essentially, then Ellen's Fire, which is, well, igniting the ground, and then we've got the super powerful Psychokinetic Blast as single target damage, so you certainly can kill workers with that stuff. As for the Reaper, he would be relying on all these undead that you can spawn, up to 5 in these early levels. Build orders looked completely normal to me as well, with triple woodcutter for Dark Elves, right? Wait, where? There. There it is. It's covered by the... buildings don't show up on the minimap actually unless you go into this mode. That's kind of unfortunate. Oh well. On the other side, there's a little bit of spider harassment going on in the corner. I'm thinking we can disable these overviews, but yeah, one more worker will be dying here. So yeah, Spidey is doing some damage. Both guys are going for the horizontal expansion path, which will connect the two godstones, allowing for a little bit of teleportation. And by the way, you guys can definitely subscribe and expect a little bit more content going forward. I'm gonna aim to record a bit of a batch every time I do, so also send me replays because I will be running short after my current batch is done, and I'm starting to work on those hero guides. I wrote one up actually for the Human Royal Mage, so that's coming soon. Anyways, now they're gonna go for their opposite sectors. It's kind of how the pathing works out. It's just faster to go from here to here than it is to teleport back and then get this one, which then might still be denied by the other person, so you typically just don't want to risk that. This sector is not important to upgrade because it's only got wood in it, and you kind of want a mix of wood and food early on. So that's going to be a pretty chill setup there. One of the Spiderinos trying to go after the Guardian has died, so you know, a little bit of harassment damage on both sides has happened. Hall of Pain finally coming in for the Dark Elves, which will give them a little bit more production to go with. We've got a woodcutter in this base. Zombies versus zombies. Obviously, the ones with the bigger muscles win, right? That's how it works. So yeah, absolutely no severe power fluctuations going on between these two players, but the Reaper is about to enter the main base as opposed to going to farm Medusas, which could put him significantly behind. If you get both of the Medusa camps, these heroes will be able to reach level 5. Now, the problem with this is that the Medusa have followed the Archdruid all the way out here, so he's having to fight 3 of them at the same time. And even with the Nature's Gift healing, these Guardians are kind of taking a beating, so this will take a while. You have to be really careful to not lose one to Medusa Focus Fire. Oh, that Spider actually pulled away one of the Medusas. That's actually helping Galactic, I'm thinking, but he's also getting a little bit slowed down in the main base with the Reaper. Oh man, he just used a he just used an ability on a 2 health hunter. That was unfortunate. We've got the undead, of course, slowing down. Resource gathering as well on the other side. Medusa are toast. There's one more left, and that's a very solid level 4 for the Archdruid, and I might even add that's going to be a fairly easy level 5, considering that he's only going up against spiders. Infiltrators are now starting to be added in, But in terms of the Dark Elf economy, we've not got a whole lot. These are all scouting posts. This one finally upgrading to a frontier. And down go the Dark Elf zombies, which will return these woodcutters to work. Guard totems have been put down as well, and I'm pretty sure this is not a patched game because this duration is now indeed 2 minutes. Still very easy with an ability like Psychokinetic Blast to take them down, so the Archdruid is pretty well situated to deal with this. Maybe, however, the Reaper and the Undead together can get this Archdruid down to some pretty low health thanks to the weakening from corruption, the Stinky Cloud ability from the Reaper. There should also be a Guardian kill right there. Oh, he's shooting the Archdruid. That was unfortunate there. Also, this corruption Stinky Cloud didn't hit. Still a lower Sanctum, don't see any upgrades coming in anytime soon. And in terms of resourcing, there is no stone income just yet. At some point we should expect stone to be slapped down. It's supposedly going to be this base. Archdruid finally going to buy a bunch of potions as well as the tier 3 armor, which will increase all resistances by 20% for the Archdruid. Pretty big deal there. And of course the potion is very useful in this phase of the game. Meanwhile, Don Hyperion would probably have to go for these Medusa. Trying to not kill the Medusa would be pretty important before the Reaper gets a little closer, but some of this damage is split up, and it's only a handful of Infiltrators. The Spiders don't do all that much damage to the Medusa anyway. They have 0 resistances, but I guess magic, but the actual damage from Spiders is pretty negligible, so you really need that corruption to put things together. We've got level 4 now for the Reaper as well, but getting focus fired by Guardians is no fun at all. Oh boy, I think he's gonna lose it. I think he's gonna totally lose it. That's toast. Oh, the health potion is so good. But now, trouble ensues anyway because the Guardians switched to melee mode. They were on top of the Infiltrators, but ended up leaving here, even though they're full health. But I'm guessing they want that Medusa XP for the Archdruid. So we're gonna have a split level 4 situation, but with Galactic being almost level 5 already, this is not looking too good for Don Hyperion. He's behind a lot in terms of experience overall. Now let's see if these Infiltrators can make a difference. There's plenty of healing for the Archdruid. He's got high armor as well. And the Guardians, interestingly, swapping to ranged mode, but they are getting a lot of healing there. And that will be the front line for the most part, as long as Don Hyperion can make sure to focus fire these down real quick. The level 5 of the Archdruid is actually not allowed to kick in. There were just not enough Guardians overall. So yeah, good job by Don Hyperion getting away from all this. He's also got the frontier posts up, so each of these bases is gonna have 2 buildings now. These are upgrading too. The main is a little bit further away, but the stone is coming in. So once you have around 14 stone, you can pretty much click in on the town hall upgrade and get tier 2. When you have this many Infiltrators, considering you're playing against a Druid, which has certainly some nuking abilities which have been picked up in fact. So basically the way it works is Ellen's Fire plus Trian's Grasp, deal damage, slow down the targets, and then you can also put a heal on top if you have time. But the point is that Ellen's Wrath explodes all these areas and gives you a whole lot of burst damage. Now your Infiltrators, you can upgrade them to have invincibility for a short duration. They can't attack during it, but hey, it's a hard counter to an ultimate ability. What more do you want? They also run fast during it, so if you have a numerical superiority, you can just go after the other guy and snipe the hero as they're trying to run away. So that's always an option. When you have this many Infiltrators, certainly the focus firing does become a powerful factor, especially combined with the Reaper's nerfs from corruption and stuff like that. But the numbers are still not quite there. Certainly not around a Shrine of Growth that's being upgraded. Now that said, Wait, tier 2 already? For our elves? Wow. Okay, okay. So, yeah, the stonecutter has been active in the predicted base. It's all good. Now the iron mines are being built, which are going to take a long amount of time. It takes 1 minute to build those. Forge is coming up, so the Dark Elves are tier 2 as well. And having a forge this early in the game does indicate to me that the upgrades will indeed be prioritized. There's no iron gathering just yet anywhere that I can see. Oh, there's one iron mine. But yeah, primarily you're gonna want to get infiltrators in this matchup for now. Eventually you're gonna transition into a little bit of sleeper play. And of course, get the balls of steel. Not figuratively, the actual unit. Because you upgrade the balls of steel to have knockdown. The Archdruid is no longer as much of a threat. That's kind of enough Guardians to do some damage. We've seen the teleportation back as well to try to safeguard this. This is now a fortified outpost though, so not very easy to take down. Oh god! It's a lot of damage coming through on only some of the infiltrators, so in that sense, Don Hyperion has been lucky, but now they eat a shockwave from Obliterate, and that wasn't very tasty to be a Dark Elf. But the Guardians continue their onslaught and do down one building here. But they're gonna be only chased. Let's see real quick in the background. Oh wait, the hero is gonna get sniped. I think he's got one more potion at most. 2 more potions, what? That's wild, okay. Either way, the way he's trying to maneuver here is gonna end up in the path of the infiltrator still, and that's a definite snipe as far as I can tell. Chugs one more potion and just barely manages to survive to teleport out. But loses several of the Guardians for it, and of course the potions aren't free. So there is that. Now let's see the Dark Elf upgrades. Still nothing, but this is pretty cheap. The Blitz Attack, the one I was talking about for the Infiltrators, definitely want to see it. The numbers are there now. And it's just Guardians from the Elves.
We will be swift.
The first batches of iron are coming in, however, so do watch that number go up. There's no way the Reaper is in level 4 for that much longer, considering the army is getting quite killy here. Got the first protectors coming in though. Those are really a game changer for the cringe elves. Sorry, I'm told the Dark Elves are the cringe elves, so I might have gotten that one wrong, but there's the opinion anyway. Protectors just buff up everything with their Phalanx ability. Can't see it on them yet, but they do affect themselves once you have 2. It's 20% extra resists. So those Infies are getting a huge nerf as these units join the others. Further upgrades are coming in. Wonder if the stone would be used for upgrades on iron, but so far that's not what I'm seeing. Either way, the big fight is restarting, and it looks like Don Hyperion to me has a pretty good position there. The protectors were in pretty low numbers still. You kind of need like 4 of them to make sure that everybody's covered. And individually, when they don't get affected by each other's Phalanx ability, that many infiltrators will indeed snipe them. So Don Hyperion is in a great position. Galactic once again having to retreat. Lots of iron mines coming in, however. This is allowed to continue growing. There will be trouble. The Wanderers are getting added in, which is interesting. They're certainly a lot more fragile than protectors would be. Whoa! We've got the speedy boys. We've got the speedy boys going around the back. Iron mines are getting targeted down, and this is a split group, so they're aiming to get into the iron mine territory here as well. That's a lot of wood getting put down, so this will be slowed down a lot. The other iron mines getting recycled too, so the Dark Elves certainly have done their damage, shutting down 2 iron bases right there. The workers being killed too. It should be easy enough to run away the infiltrators, I think. Let's see how that's gonna work. So far they're just taking it. And I'm not sure they can. Those Guardians have a lot of DPS. These guys don't have good melee resists whatsoever. But the numbers seem to be kinda there to get an even-ish trade. Unfortunately, the targeting was not that good. Well, Dark Elf's chilling on the outskirts of this base. This has been repelled, but there's much more coming, including sleepers. And we've got a harvester on the field. And that will contribute very nicely to gathering a little bit of echo. Already started doing so. Oh! Yep, that's hurt. That hurt the spiders especially, but the infiltrators did get out thanks to their invincibility. Still great ability usage by the Archdruid over there. Forge is now upgrading the whirling blades for the sleepers. Just gonna give them additional targets for their attacks. Going up from 1 to 3 targets. So a lot of damage. And this is not a lot of elves. Protectors are potentially gonna reach like the count of 4 or 5, depending on how the teleport goes, but this base is already under attack. And Galactic is choosing to not teleport onto the middle base, rather trying to flank the infiltrators. Oh, the Reaper actually dies. That's awkward. Certainly hasn't gone according to plan there. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. And it's quite a bit of experience again for our Archdruid. Only needs a little bit more. Wonder what the next skills are gonna be. The other point from level 5 has been put into Obliterate, so I think the logical pick would be Crush Spirits, which is a massive nerf beam. You apply that to the enemy hero, essentially loses half the resistances. Gets slowed down as well, and enfeebled, so nerfed in every way possible. Once again, a bunch of Guardians are getting sent up here. I'm not sure I like that, but I really like the Infiltrators just running forward with the Blitz Attack ability. While they can't attack during that, they can at least get off 2 very solid shots. Unfortunately, they kind of stopped moving for a second there, so a good idea would be to separate just a bunch to chase them. Spire of Souls is getting caught out here. I don't like the positioning of it, honestly, but the repair is coming through pretty good. Border Fortress providing more repair than a smaller base would, so in that sense, the positioning hasn't been that bad. Now, the Infiltrators are gonna Blitz Attack forward again to try and chase this down, but they ended up stopping early. But do this several times in a row, and I think they will be able to catch the army. The cooldown isn't that long. But if they keep stopping, that's that. It will be available for this ability again, and indeed, they're only taking a little bit of burn damage and didn't take the actual explosion. Now they're trying to chase down the Archdruid. Of course, the ability itself will be on cooldown, but how much more potioning does the Archdruid have? 0. 0 potioning is going to be happening here momentarily. Which could mean the end of the game if Galactic is not careful, but he is careful. He's casting a very nice combo in the middle of that army. He's weakened, pulling back, knowing this is not the time to engage. Let the base do a little bit of the work. There's 100 damage per arrow there, and shoots 2 attacks. However, the Reaper once again gets a great weakening off. And every time that happens, these units are just getting absolutely obliterated. I think it might have been a little early to try to make a ballista. That's purely a siege weapon. There were even 3 ballistas. Oh my god, that's so expensive. And yeah, it doesn't do anything against units like this. you just want to target that on buildings. Level 5 has been achieved now for the Reaper, which is going to give him a lot more power. Kiss of Nor has been unlocked, which is a massive explosion on the skeletons, or sorry, the undead. Well, it can be skeletons later once you have Emissaries of Nor to summon them, but not the case yet. We also have Blood Shower, and once again a great use of the invulnerability. Blood Shower ends up not hitting any of the enemies. Well, a handful maybe, but that's not good enough. It's a little bit of damage over time. Much better against buildings, of course, but you might as well use it on the army. Now, I would like to see a great Kiss of Nor there. I love the pre-split, making sure that not as many of the units can get hurt there. Interesting choice to run away from this. I think he can use those use those infiltrators to target everything down. That was the wrong order to use Kiss of Nor in, however, as these targets weren't weakened yet by corruption. Little bit problematic there. The Dark Elves are losing a lot of units, and suddenly the population is completely even, but the infiltrators are going for the kill shot on the Archer, and they're gonna get it. Very nice kill. Level 6 is achieved by the Reaper, and we're supposed to see another Kiss of Nor here, I'm thinking. Weakening going down on the Protectors. And the Infiltrators did manage to make it, so yeah, the Dark Elves have a pretty solid army still. But so do the Elves, especially if these Protectors heal back to full eventually, which they will do. It will take them a hot second though. There's going to be a lot of Echo here that the Hyperion can collect and then turn into Balls of Steel. We've got the first Dark Temple coming up. It's not yet finished, so those Balls of Steel will have to wait, but he already has 44 Echo, so I think he needs to get even another one. There's a whole lot more Echo coming in. Oh my god, that's a lot of souls right there. So many. Very spiritual economy indeed. Iron is getting kept at bay there. But there are plenty of iron mines for our Dark Elves. 5 total. I'd say that's good. Refiner is coming in for a little bit of eco upgrade, supposedly to farming, because that is not looking so hot right now. And we're gonna see tier 3 for our Elves. Interesting placement for the Arcane Smithy. I assume these ballista just go into the Godstone? No, they got all units grabbed. That's fine. But plenty of Wardens, which will be excellent against all these sleepers for the most part. You just need that heavy damage and focus them down one at a time while the Protectors keep them at bay. The Protectors, typically speaking, just have better stats, right? Like all these extra resistances really set them apart. They have more health to begin with, and they can keep up in terms of damage, especially once they have these upgraded winged spears. Or whatever they are called. It's gonna be a full surround on the border. Fortress has to be teleporting to save this. We've got a Basilisk rather than Balls of Steel. That's an interesting one. Archer attempting to set up a Wombo combo, but needs to stay safe from all these Infiltrators. We've had a Kiss of Nor in the middle, which would have done a good amount of damage, as you can see. All of these units are very hurt. If the Dark Elves seek another direct engagement, I think they'll have a pretty good time doing so. Although they don't really have more population right now. So I'm not sure whether pushing a base is a good idea. An open engagement I could see. Don Hyperion could totally sell that to me, but this I'm not so sure about. We've got the Basilisk, of course, to help siege this down. We've had the Rotting Stone effect with 105 pure damage per second on this base, so that's irresistible. Of course, siege damage preferable to irresistible, but yeah. Let's see if that... Oh god, the Infiltrators are in the middle of the Protectors. They're gonna take a lot of AoE damage from especially the Archdruid over there. Weakening, ending up not doing much because it landed on the own units of the Dark Elves. And I'm thinking Galactic is starting to win. That was a nerf beam real quickly. Don't know if you guys noticed, but that hero was nerfed. and the Wardens immediately sniped him in a single shot. That was absolutely brutal. The Dark Elves have fallen apart, getting a little bit too fancy here, and underestimating the power of the shinier elves. Turns out the Dark Elves were the cringe ones anyway, so my initial feelings were wrong, and what everyone else said was right. Scions are in. These balls of steel would have been so helpful earlier in the other fight. Imagine knocking everything down while the infiltrators run after the Archdruid to take it down. That would be so nice. If you can cycle those balls of steel, they can do so much work. We even got the Druid, one of my favorite units. You can target the single target healing beam on the Protector, and that Protector is basically invulnerable from there on. So yeah, very, very nice addition always to such a tier 2 composition, especially later in tier 2. Dark Elves trying their best to survive, but the Elves just keep printing units at this point. They don't have a lot of food right now, so the extra investment into Ballista right now makes a lot of sense. Reaper pops in, but I think he's just gonna get nerf beamed again, down to minus 37 pierce resistance. It's breakfast for the Warden. Easy peasy. Infiltrators trying to run around and do stuff, but they get splash damage into oblivion. A bit of echo harvesting will occur just for an epic finish here. Very shiny, but yeah, with this base falling, that's a large chunk of the Dark Elf economy. And these Guardians have been annoying for a long time. I'm surprised they left the Iron Mine behind, but yeah, the shinier elves take the win there. Very good job by Galactic, holding on against the tide. And as for Don Hyperion, he just got a little too fancy. I think if he goes more conventional, he had the upper hand overall, and perhaps could have gotten this under control with a bunch of balls of steel. Maybe in the next attempt where he tries to make use of this very interesting Blitz Attack tech, he can work it out. Well, everyone, more coming soon. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.